So, today we're going to talk about a really powerful idea. What if? What if you could be the architect of your own emotional responses? I don't mean suppressing them, but actually intentionally designing how you react to everything happening around you. Let me start by asking you something. Have you ever been in a really heated moment and had that weird, almost out-of-body experience? Where it feels like you're just watching yourself from the outside and you know exactly what you're about to do or say next, and you can't seem to stop it? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. We can think of it like this. There's an initial spark, and then there's the raging fire. And it's in that little gap between the two that we feel like we lose all control. Honestly, it's the basic anatomy of pretty much every reaction we end up wishing we could take back. Oh, you know the feeling, right? It's so physical. That heat rising up in your chest, your face gets flushed, the words are already forming on your tongue, just ready to go. And the action, whether it's firing off a text or just storming out of a room, it feels completely inevitable, like it's happening to you, not by you. And here is the absolute worst part. Even as it's all happening, there's that tiny, quiet voice in the back of your head that's already wincing, already feeling that stab of regret. It's like you're a passenger in your own car, watching a crash in slow motion that you just can't seem to prevent. But what if we've been looking for control in completely the wrong place? See, the key isn't trying to stop the fire once it's already out of control. The real power, our true point of leverage, is in that tiny, almost invisible moment before it all kicks off. It's all about the pause. And this really lays it all out for us, doesn't it? We can spend all our time and energy over here on the left side, in damage control mode, apologizing, fixing things, just managing the aftermath. Or we can shift our focus over to the right, to what the source material calls the before math, proactively designing our response before that fire even has a chance to start. Just think about that for a second. That tiny gap between the trigger and your reaction, it's not a void, it's a space. And it's not empty, it is full of potential. That's not a moment of weakness, it's the exact spot where your strength and your freedom actually live. So, okay, how do we actually get into that space? Well, this isn't just some nice-sounding idea. It's a practical skill you can learn. It's a discipline. And it's called the discipline of response. The key word here really is practice. It's about learning to see that emotional energy not as some kind of flood that's about to sweep you away, but more like a river that you can consciously build channels for. You get to be the architect of where it goes. All right, so let's break it down. 3 simple, actionable steps. First, just notice the spark. Feel that heat rising? Okay, acknowledge it. No judgment, just see it for what it is. Second, find the space. Take 1 deep breath. Count to 3, whatever it takes to create just a tiny pause. And third, right there in that new space you've created, you choose. It's not an automatic reaction anymore. It's a deliberate choice. And when you start to actually practice this, something pretty amazing begins to happen. You realize you're not destroying that initial energy, you're transforming it. You're literally turning it from something that could be destructive into something constructive. This is the fundamental shift right here. You go from being a puppet of your own impulses to being the one holding the strings. The situation itself might not change, but your entire relationship to it does. Autopilot is officially off. You're at the controls now. And the transformation just keeps going. That raw emotional heat, that anger, that frustration, it doesn't have to just burn out. It can become the light of understanding, of clarity, of finding a better, more compassionate way forward. The energy is exactly the same. You're just redesigning how it's expressed. Look, this is not about becoming some cold, unfeeling robot. Not at all. It's about becoming a better builder. And the most important thing to remember is that you already have the tools. The power to be the architect, it's already inside you. And that brings us to this one final powerful metaphor. The sparks of life, the frustrations, the triggers, the annoyances, they are always going to fly. You can't stop that. But what you can do is build a hearth, a structure that contains the fire, that keeps it safe so you can use its warmth and its light instead of letting it burn the whole house down. Which, of course, leaves us with the biggest, most important question of all. This is your structure to build. It's your response to design. You're the architect. So, what's your design going to be?